There are so many different things happening with the Dragster project at Cedar Point, but the biggest question remains, how tall will this spike be? I'm going to share with you my predictions on exactly how tall I think this spike is going to be. Plus, I'm going to fill you in on all the happenings on the Dragster construction area. This is Theme Park Predictions. My name is Brandon, and now let's get into this. Now, before I go over how exactly tall I think this coaster is going to be as far as the spike goes, let's get one thing clear, and that is I see like a 1% chance that the actual top hat will get extended to make it even taller. So I predict the height of the top hat will stay at 420 feet. A huge shout out goes to Lake Erie Lifestyles for providing this footage, and as you can see, there's a ton of movement going on in the spike area. As of now, pretty much the entire Iron Dragon Lagoon has been drained, and we see a lot of gravel and other happenings in the area. Now, I believe that the gravel is for giant cranes and heavy construction equipment to get to and from locations for this giant footer. And now, there could be a second footer, and I covered that in this video here, so I highly recommend checking that video out when you're done watching this one. But as we can see, concrete is getting poured into the giant footer, and they removed all the rocks and stones and sand that was in it beforehand. Now, I'm not really into construction, so I have no idea exactly what the process is and why they would fill it all up with giant stones and rocks and then take all of it out, but they did, and now we have concrete being poured, and that's a great sign because this is obviously for a giant footer. And more on that giant footer in a few minutes. Now let's head over to the station of Dragster because there's even more digging that's going on that is underneath the roof of Dragster. So they're definitely going to be doing something crazy here, whether it's going to be the launch track or they're retrofitting this area to make it for the new station. So we don't know that information yet. However, I'm just glad that this iconic station roof and the building, the structure is staying. Kudos to Cedar Point for that. Now, I don't know how large this project's going to be as far as will the layout on the other side of the top hat be extended or not, but I kind of have to assume that the park is possibly behind schedule. I just figured that they would already have a lot of this stuff done, and the park opens up in about 2 weeks from now, so they have a lot to do before the park opens up. I don't know if Iron Dragon will be opening for opening day, unfortunately, at this time. I was told that it was going to be, but as what we're seeing now, I highly doubt it. For some exciting news, I'm going to be at Cedar Point's opening day, and I'm going to be walking all around the Dragster construction site for the first hour of the day doing a live stream. So if you see me wearing my Dragster Ready to Go shirt, be sure to say hi, and be sure to check this out in my Theme Park Predictions Coaster Gear store because this shirt's very popular and you cannot beat the price for the quality. You can also find this graphic in women's clothing, tank tops, kids clothing, hoodies, sweatshirts, pretty much anything you could possibly want, including stickers. So again, check it out. The link will be in the description of this video. I am very curious to see when Cedar Point's going to install the first supports for the actual spike. Will it be in a few weeks or a few months? Most likely a few months. But I think as of now, and knowing where this project currently is as far as the time frame goes, I predict we might see some teasers showing up along the construction walls as soon as opening day. And again, I'm going to be there on opening day, so if you see me, be sure to say hi. I'll be wearing my Dragster Baby I'm Ready to Go shirt. This project is so massive, and in fact, it's probably the biggest coaster project that we've ever had to experience as far as the transitioning of one ride to another, because you're taking the second tallest roller coaster and the third fastest and Frankensteining this coaster into something all new. And the ride's 20 years old. So it's extremely thrilling and fun to follow this project, and no one really knows what the final results will be. So it's always fun to speculate and predict. So every few weeks, I'm going to be releasing my predictions and thoughts on the Dragster construction process as well as updates, so stay tuned for those as well. Now let's talk about the bunny hill. Will Dragster feature a bunny hill on the swing launch? And a lot of people say yes, a lot of people say no. I firmly believe that there will be some form of a bunny hill that will include LSMs to be a part of the launch. And I really hope that's the case, because if you've ever been on a roller coaster that features a swing launch that has a bunny hill, I mean, it's just an amazing sensation. If you have not, I really hope you get a chance to ride one because honestly, it's just so much fun. And imagine going over a bunny hill at speeds over 100 miles an hour. Now that, in my opinion, is a great way to replace such an iconic launch that Dragster used to operate with. And that, of course, was the hydraulic launch. So I predict with an 80% chance that the swing launch will include a bunny hill of some type. Now, I'm not expecting it to be very large, maybe 60 feet tall, 70 feet tall, something like that, just because of the whole scale of the size of this project. But nonetheless, we're going to get forwards and backwards airtime and possibly a rollback. So I'm all for that. Now, the biggest wild card for me with this project is, what are the trains going to be like? Are they going to feature over-the-head shoulder restraints or lap bars or the famous Intamin T-bars? What do you guys want? Please let me know in the comments. What kind of trains do you want? What kind of restraints would you prefer this coaster to offer? Because for me, I love Dragster because you're so, the flexibility you had as you rode the coaster, you can lean off to the side a little bit once you're going up the top hat, and you felt like nothing else was around you. Whereas King Ka is a little bit taller and faster and more intense, but the overhead shoulder restraint really kind of makes it not as extreme or just insane. So again, I really hope there is a lap bar of some type, though I will say I would love to have like a Velocicoaster restraint or Pantheon, because while it is kind of over the head, it is just a lap bar and they're very, very comfortable. Now it's the moment you guys have all been waiting for. Let's talk about this spike. How tall will it be? Will it be 100 to 200 feet, 200 to 300, or maybe 300 to 400, or 400 to 500? Or would Cedar Point actually dare to break the 500-foot tall coaster barrier? Now, in past videos, I've given my speculation and predictions on doing just that, and while I do think it's a possibility, I don't think it's that great of a chance for them to actually take this thing over 500 feet. I just feel that it comes down to cost. In my opinion, that would cost so much money, and right now Cedar Fair is really playing it conservative and safe when it comes to new additions and how much money they're spending on new attractions. We've seen this in 2023, and I think we'll see it again in 2024 and hopefully not 2025, but who knows? So I'm going to list off the heights that I think the spike could be and then give you a percentage with each height as how likely I can see the spike being that tall. Starting off, 100 to 200 feet. I'm going to go a 99.9% chance that this coaster will not be 200 feet tall. I'm just joking, obviously. I really feel as if with the speed and momentum that this coaster is going to have, obviously it's going to be over 200 feet tall, which will look incredible on Cedar Point Skyline. So with that, I'm going to give the reimagined Dragster a 0% chance that it's going to feature a spike that's 100 to 200 feet tall. With a 10% chance, sadly, I predict the spike will be over 500 feet. Again, I don't see it very likely. I wish it would be. I just don't see it being really likely of it actually going over the 500-foot barrier. And with a 20% chance, I predict the spike will be between 400 and 500 feet. Without extending the top hat, which obviously for many reasons I don't see how it's possible, I really don't know if a spike taller than 400 feet or even 500 feet could work with a train going that fast over the top hat. There's a lot of structural issues that could go wrong with that, and all the wear and tear of, the train going over the top hat at a much higher velocity could be a major maintenance problem for the park. And it's pretty much confirmed that the supports on Dragster will not be replaced, but only the track. I'm going to give it a 30% chance that the spike will be between 200 and 300 feet. And if the spike is indeed within this height range, I think it's definitely going to be around 275, something along those lines, definitely close to the height of Millennium Force for sure. And finally, a spike between the height of 300 and 400 feet, I'm going to give it a 40% chance. This is my sweet spot. I really feel as if this spike will be over 300 feet tall, and I think it's great for the park and great for the Skyline again. The taller the better. If I had to put money on it, I would guess around 325, maybe 350. Again, it all depends on how much Cedar Point wants to spend on this project. All I know is I cannot wait for the teasing to start for this project, as well as riding this new roller coaster at Cedar Point in 2024. So how tall do you think the spike is going to be? Please let me know in the comments, as well as your other predictions for Dragster. When do you think it's going to open? What color do you think the track is going to be? I really do love and enjoy hearing from everyone, so be sure to leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you're planning a trip to Cedar Point, do not miss out on my Cedar Point Ultimate Guide video. That's going to save you tons of money and time and is a must watch before you visit Cedar Point in 2023. As always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.